actually started the company by default. I was going to a party out at Lime Key, and it's like a rave party. So I wanted some very outstanding earrings because I am more simple in my taste, and I couldn't find anything. And at that time I was just working, and I have very expensive tastes, I've come to find. So I just made a pair of earrings myself that were really bold and outrageous, and everyone liked them. And funny enough, in the evening I went by Devon House, and Rev, who does jewelry, saw my earrings. He's like, Bianca, where you got those earrings? Because he had just started his business up, I think, probably a year or so before me. And I said, I'm just going somewhere. And he says, no, you're onto something. Keep at it, because he's very, eclectic as well in his style. And I said, boy, if he can tell me that I must keep on it, I must have something. And so I literally went to the hardware store, bought a ton of copper wire, converted an old fish tank stand with a piece of ply as my new studio desk, and started working. And first I was just doing it as an on the side job because I was employed to someone as a makeup artist. But my employer at the time was closing down the business, and so I said, I'm just gonna leave and pursue this. And I did with my last paycheck. If I had a chance to do it all over again, I would, because that's not necessarily the best way to start a business. But it taught me a lot, leaving so prematurely and going through that whole struggling business, and that's how I've come up with Pieces of Bianca. When I was in my late teens, I was coming back from a trip, and I came upon a book called Becoming Madame Mao. It's by An Chi Ming, and it relays the story of Chairman Mao's wife from 15th century, I think, China. And she was relaying that when she was growing up, she grew up very poor, and her mother would say that women are like grass to be trampled upon. And she said that she would never accept it. She would always believe that she would see herself as a peacock. She would live her life as a peacock among hens. And that has been always one of the most profound statements to me, and I've always held that with me. And basically the woman who wears Pieces of Bianca is a peacock among hens. She doesn't want to blend in. It's a woman that's very well traveled, that can appreciate the handcrafted nature of my designs, that wants to be unique. No two women are the same, so I don't believe that any two pieces of jewelry should be exactly the same. It's actually very funny, because it kind of is a very hard line to play on, because consumers like what everyone is wearing. It's all about trends for them, and that's what brings in the units. But I will still hold fast to create one-of-a-kind pieces that, yes, the volumes may move a little bit slower, but I like exclusivity. And so my customer wants to be exclusive, not to blend in. From the inception, my chest is very high, I guess, which is why I had to do my own jewelry, because I like fine things. And I have always looked at brands like Bulgari. They have a booklet, a warranty booklet, which has like about 100 different languages. And eventually that's how I would like my warranty booklet to be. So for right now, you don't just buy a piece and then that's it. We do maintain a relationship with our customers through our servicing of our pieces. Each piece comes with a warranty booklet which outlines all the care and maintenance. We do all repolishing, all repairs that, if it's a manufacturer's default, for up to 2 years. But however, we still will continue this service depending on what it is for a lifetime. As long as our business is in service, it's an extension of the brand. So I don't ever want someone to be walking around in 6 years and people say, oh, what's that? And you're like, I got it from Pieces and it looks a bit shoddy. So I'd like to, as far as possible, to be able to maintain that relationship with the customers. My jewelry is retailed at Kerry Man Woman Home on South Avenue, and that's in Kingston, Jamaica. And also most recently, for the past year, we're now retailing at one of Kingston's finest jewelry retailers, which is Sue Stores, F&B downtown. And I really love that location, because my collectors, it's so in line with what my collectors like. It's in the middle of downtown. It's very New York, very Soho. You can come into a trendy environment, have drinks, have food if you want, and you can shop fine jewelry at the same time. So that to me is the wickedest thing. Christmas was another one of the tales of my life. This collection was called Stoned, and it was a very beautiful collection. We're still running it because I don't believe in doing something for a Christmas season or this is my spring collection. I can't design spring, summer, fall. I design when something comes up. And so the Stone collection was another parallel to my life, and also to show a topic that is very prevalent now, I think, in society, which is drug use, drug abuse, whether it's marijuana, whether it's cocaine, whether it's crack. And it's a very funny topic, and I think that as an artist I delve very deeply into certain experiences. It's almost like an experiment to me. And the Stone collection not only represents my battle, if you want to call it that, with trying to stop smoking marijuana. It's something that I've been doing for a long time, through my life. And I think the collection shows the beauty that comes from being under the influence of these drugs, if you want to say that. It's very graphic, but this is the reality of it. It's my jewelry. I'm never going to pretend about it. And to me, it does show the beauty of the inspiration that you can get from being intoxicated. And it also is my challenge to myself to create a collection not under the influence of marijuana. And I think that it came out quite well. And I'm still on my journey, I'm still on my struggle, and I'm very proud for each day that I can not smoke a joint. Traveling has been a very large part of my creative process. Jamaica is so diverse, but we're not necessarily dynamic. And I think that traveling has exposed me to so much in terms of the people that you meet, the art that you're exposed to is insane. I really love traveling to New York, where I can get a mash of everyone and every culture in one place. And the material that you have access to is so much better than locally, sadly, and it really does heavily influence the end products of my designs and what my concepts will turn into. So it influences each other, and I'm very thankful that I'm able to experience other nations other than Jamaica, because it's very important to your work as an artist. The Branson Center, I was in the first cohort in 2011, and it was really a good experience. A lot of business people, and especially when you're just starting up and you're young in business, you don't necessarily have your business plan yet structured, and the Branson Center did play a large part in having me look at my business properly. Like, it forced me to sit down and look at the problems, look at the solutions, refine your business plan, and it really tells you how to think on your toes. It's a mix of practical and theory. You get to interface with a lot of people that are already in business, and it shows you how to build partnerships, how to use your networks to the most beneficial to you. And it's a great experience. It was a great experience for me. Since I have most recently gotten the Jamaica Observer Award for the Jewelry Designer of the Year 2012-2013, and I really do give thanks to the Observer for acknowledging my hard work, because as an artist, you do your work, you don't expect to be acknowledged, so when it is, it's very humbling. And so I am planning to leverage that the best I can for 2014, and I plan to do some tours and do a lot more traveling. I believe that we are all here on earth for a reason, and I don't think that anything that we've ever experienced in life is by chance. And I have experienced a lot of things in my life. I don't necessarily speak about them, and I think that a lot of artists don't. Disclosure is something that's very difficult for people to do, and artists especially have the ability to express their journey through their art form. And I figure that if God put me here, and if I am here and I could live through the things that have happened to me, then I think that I've only lived through them to be an example, or to help other people uplift them as well. And so again, I was a much different person than I am today, and I found peace within myself with who I am, with everything of my decisions, and so came about Pieces of Bianca. It's pieces of me, literally, and it's, you know, I hope to impart feelings of well-being through the material that we use, through the messages that are affiliated with the different pieces and the names of them, to my collectors.